Hello and welcome to That British Homestead. My name's Nick and today I thought I'd show you a tour of this crazy allotment, so let's get started. So starting off with the tomato forest is gone. He's very weedy. I've started to replace the manure, that's chicken manure, that's going to rot down all winter long. I'm going to do loads of horse manure, really thick here. Try and basically get rid of the tomato seeds, I'm not going to lie. It's been a big issue with volunteer tomatoes, which is great, but lots of them that are volunteering are the ones I don't really like, and I don't want them to volunteer. So, and also like there's some varieties that I absolutely adore, so I put them out. And then I don't know which one to weed out, you know, the one that I've planted or the 6 other huge, fast-growing tomato plants. You just don't know, Is Jasmine's little area. She's got some beautiful cosmos growing here. I love cosmos, this is a volunteer, I'm really happy about it. She's got some dahlias, some white dahlias here. I really like these, they're very, very pretty. They've got like these darker lines in them and they're so pretty. Tons of strawberries. The strawberries have spread. So this patch you can see behind me, it's just full of strawberries. It's also got tons of bulbs in it. I was talking to Jasmine, she wants to do more bulbs next in the spring, so probably going to turn the second half into bulbs and flowers as well, because that's what she loves. Pumpkins are done for this year. It does need a bit of a clean up, I'm not going to lie. This onion bed, it's almost done. There's a couple more onions in there. They're the crag ones. Some beautiful flowers down there as well. I'm not too sure what they are, but I did plant them. Volunteer potatoes are horrific in this area. I never grew potatoes here, but the person who had the allotment before me did. This is another volunteer, and it's going to seed, so I'm going to leave it to go to seed and I'm going to spread it over Jasmine's area. I think that'll be really great. I need to collect all my carrot seeds. My carrot seeds are looking so good and they are ready to collect, so I'm super excited about that. I'm trying to concentrate on seed saving so that I have loads of seeds that are like free for next year. Makes sense to me. So another beautiful flower here. I think that looks absolutely stunning. I've really enjoyed this plant. Not too sure what it is. I've planted so many flowers this year, so I'm just going to go ahead and save seeds from it. You'll be hearing that quite a lot. This particular bed behind me did have onions in it. The onions are now done. The beetroot is still going, and as soon as they're done I'm going to clear it and then go ahead and put more horse manure in it. So, this bed behind me here is a fantastic, an absolutely fantastic pepper bed. We haven't had as many peppers as last year, but Jasmine's super loving them because we put them in her lunchbox and she just absolutely devours them. They're like little mini peppers, so she just like eats them all in one, which is really great. So this is a beetroot bed. Well, some of it anyway. It didn't really take at the end, but here it's worked really great. Before this was potatoes, and these beetroots are looking quite fantastic. So some of them are really doing well. They're multi-sown, so as soon as they're done, you just go ahead and take the biggest ones and leave the other ones to grow on. I'll be having borscht very, very soon. It's one of my favourite soups to eat. This bit, I've kind of put flowers. I try to put flowers quite a lot of places. They make me happy. So along the paths and along like waste areas, I put flowers. And we have more dahlias. They're one of my favourite. I grow all of these from seed. And then those ones as well, which are absolutely lovely. And then we've got some more. So funny because they seem to cluster together in the same sort of colours, but there's another pink one here, and I believe the one here that's just starting to flower is black, and it's beautiful. Dahlias are perennials, so now that they're in, they're going to stay here, and their roots just go ahead and get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they bloom these beautiful flowers, and it's just lovely. I really like the different types of dahlias, and I really like having tons of them. I think they're beautiful. Here is my brassica bed. I've got a ton of cabbages growing there. Got some red cabbage, particularly my partner's absolute favourite. He absolutely loves it with like just a squeeze of lemon. So we eat that quite a lot. Comes from, I don't know if you guys have it where you live, but like Al Kebab does something similar, and it's like sauerkraut, but they've got lemon in it as well. It's really good, and we really, really enjoy it. So it's something that we always make sure that we have space for. This here, more dahlias. So I've got some beautiful blooms here. They've got like a touch of pink, whereas these ones are more sunset orange. They're lovely. I really am enjoying them. And now this bit, we've still got some eggplant, although it is September. Look at that. So I'll be coming through and absolutely taking all of these probably today. I think my leeks are looking really fantastic. There's all different types of leek here. So there's some that grow really fast and some grow really slow. Ones like this, I'm like sure that this bad boy is done. Look at that. This is like the second year that I'm growing leeks. I grow lots of leeks and then store them, and then sometimes I don't grow them if I don't use them all. You know how it is. Same with my celery. I try as much as I'm able to just basically grow what I'm eating. So if I don't eat it, then I can't grow it. Does that make sense? There's lots of things I love growing and I don't necessarily get through, like celery. Like I use that a lot in canning and stuff like that. But once I've grown it for a year, the second year it re-roots if you don't cut it, dig it out, sorry. So then I have it for 2 years and I'm good for a few years of dried celery leaves and dried celery stalks. These are beetroots. My beetroots are basically done. I might leave 1 or 2 different colours in there to go to seed, so I have the seeds for next year. They've grown so well this year. Once they're done, I'm going to go through and horse manure it. Only about 1 inch on top this year because it's already had some last year. And then this is my celery. Like I said, I'm going to prune it back and then just leave it. It will die back for the winter and it will come up next spring for an early harvest. This absolute mess here is my perennial spinach. It's worked out so great. I actually generally thought that I needed way more than I did. I would never grow this much again. I'm telling you, I'm rich in spinach. Whereas I think I maybe only 3 plants would have done instead of like half a bed. But hey, you live and you learn, and the birds absolutely love the seed heads as they go to seeds. They absolutely devour them, so it's worked out quite nicely. So this is our berry bed. This is our berry bed. We've got raspberries and blackberries at the back. All of the rhubarb has now died back, and we've got the tayberries as well. We've got an absolute ton, and I've made some fantastic raspberry jam, which was always really desirable. Got some lovely lupins as well. Look at those lupins, it's starting to flower. Grew these from seed. Apparently lupins are really difficult to grow from seed, but I didn't find them too hard. I soaked them and then sprouted them on tissue paper and they worked really well. Who knew? Okay, so this is the second half of the allotment. So as you can see, it's very early, so the sun hasn't properly rised yet. That's why it's so shadowy. Ooh. This allotment is south facing, so we do have the advantage of having a lot of sunlight in it, but obviously it takes a little while for the sun to get over this fence, so that is kind of a negative of having this fence, but it is so beautifully built, I'm not going to knock it down. Now, you see my other allotment just behind there. So this is a sweet pea. I've harvested absolute ton of seeds from this sweet pea and it's so pretty. It's got these lovely little very light pink flowers and it's been like a goer this year. I want to get as many seeds from this as possible and hopefully they've crossed with other ones of my sweet pea, because this has been really prolific and my other sweet peas kind of started and then died straight away, and this is like the only one that's been doing so good. So you really want to pinpoint the genetics that you want, if you get what I mean. Let's have a look what we've got. This is my Grape Twig. I'm so proud of her because so I actually grew this from twig. It was so tiny. It was the original bit down there and I've been growing it for 2 years now, and I got 2 bunches of grapes off of it, which is ridiculous. I did actually want to buy another one of these. I got it from Asda, but I didn't see them this year. Maybe I wasn't looking at the right time, whatever. Didn't get one and I was gutted. It was only £6. Absolute bargain. I'm hoping it's going to spread out all over this wall, which would be great. So as you can see, I've still got a few butternut squash here, there and everywhere. I've got a crown prince, which is here. I think this one's ready to go, so I'll probably pick that today. Yeah, it's really nice. Apparently this lasts 6 months just on the side. It's very exciting. Butternut squash is always a favourite. My mum always comes over around about like this time, and not that she only comes over this time, but she comes over this time and she makes a butternut squash and sweet potato soup, and we do it every year, and it's just so nice. And then we're the only ones that eat it, so it's really nice to sit down with this like nice warm tasty soup. These nasturtiums have been amazing this year, as you can see. They're still growing really well. They're growing on the inside. They're just absolutely prolific, so once again that's a priority to grab some of these seeds. Apparently, and the seeds are edible as well, you can pickle them. I've never tried that, but it's something that I have in mind. The only issue I have with these barrels, I did them, was it like March? And okay, this one hasn't shrank too much, but you can see like it was right up to here. But this one, as you can see, look, there's nothing in there. It's like it's empty. I filled that all the way up. Same for these two here. They are completely utterly empty. So I'm going to go ahead and fill those up again very soon. There's just so much work to do. It's one of these things that like you will always have more work to do. I've got to clear these areas as well because they're basically finished for the year. Also, I've got to do something about the stinging nettles here. This area is not really that used. And yeah, I need to clear the stinging nettles. I use it for burning mostly, but it's been so damp this year. It's been very difficult to burn anything. And then as soon as I start getting a good bonfire going, I have to put it out from going home. So it's been a right pain in the bum. Okay, so this area is pretty much done. There's a few beetroots in there that needs to be harvested. Some of the bits that go into seed, and I'm obviously going to want to keep those seeds. Carrots and lettuces and things, and I know I've open pollinated them, but I'm not really that bothered by it. They're really doing well in this climate, and to be honest, any carrot that's able to grow in my area is good for me. I do have a ton of baby carrots that just seeded here, so I'm going to leave those and hope for the best. These are my Jerusalem artichokes, and you can just see them over the wall. They are these beautiful little flowers. They have little like potato-like structures, very sweet underneath, and they are lovely, so I can't wait to have those. And we normally dig them up as needed over the winter because they don't store very well in the fridge, but I have found if you store them in a plastic bag in the cooler drawer, they do store much longer, so as long as they remain really muddy. This bed is pretty much done. We've got a little bit of the last dying off rhubarb, absolutely prolific this year. I've got more rhubarb than I know what to do with. I'll make rhubarb wine very soon. And we've got our peonies. The peonies have been great this year, and they're an early flower, and I love them. They're like beautiful cups, like this big. I never pick them, but they are starting to die back, and I will cut them to the ground and then re-wood chip this area to keep up the mulch, because we are very heavy when it comes to bugs and not bugs, but when it comes to weeds in this area. This is the old potato bed. We got absolute ton out of this. I was really proud of this area. Did really well, but it's over now, and I'm going to re-wood chip it, and then the potatoes are going to go back here this year. This is a massive sweet potatoes. So sweet potatoes are, I think they're absolutely stunning. So they've got these leaves on them, which are these beautiful deep purple leaves. They're not quite ready yet. I'm waiting for the leaves to go brown and start dying back. These are still vibrantly growing. We do have a green leaf variety as well. I forget what they're called. I had two varieties, and both are Japanese varieties, apparently meant to do very well in the UK, but I don't know yet because I haven't dug them up. I've also grown them under black plastic. Apparently that warms up the soil quite nicely, and they're able to grow much easier. As you can see, they're absolutely spreading across the plastic, which is great. At the back there, this is marshmallow. The herb, not the sweet. Apparently it was what marshmallows used to be made out of. 3 years and I'll have a harvest, so 2 more years left. And you actually eat the roots, and the roots are really good for coughs and colds and stuff like that. It's exciting. Of course I don't know what they taste like yet, so they could be foul. This tree is a birthday present. I got it not this year, last year. It did have blossoms on this year, but it then dropped down to like -6, so it lost some. It is affected by leaf curl, but I'm just going to do the same as I did last year and just go through and absolutely remove everything on it, and it worked out really well, and I'm really proud of this tree. I'm hoping to get a peach or two next year. One of my friends has a peach tree and she has like millions of peaches, and that'd just be ideal, wouldn't it? So this bed behind me just here was a bean bed. I've harvested them all and it was a great little harvest, but it's now done. I'm going to be covering it with horse manure and getting ready for the winter. This is the orchard. I feel like this is the most neglected part of the allotment, but you can see I've got a little fig tree here and I haven't killed it yet. I kill all my fig trees. It's very impressive. It is so lovely. I'm trying to keep it as weed free as possible, keep it topped up nicely with horse manure. This here is a plum tree. It's going so well. I actually grew this from twig. It was as small as that fig tree when I bought it. It was an absolute bargain. I think I got like 5 of them for like 50 quid or something like that. It's a really good bargain. Love a bargain, mate. Absolutely love a bargain. I have lost 1 apple tree so far though, so I do need to come through and clear this area. I know I've got so much weeding to do. This one's an apple tree. It did have some blossoms on, but once again that cold frost just, they went. It also looks like it's got a bit of leaf miner as well. This area does need to be cleared up. I'm going to be trying to horse manure back over here to try to keep it as clear as possible. The issue I have with this allotment is the perennials are a nightmare. So it's not the annuals that I have an issue with, it is the perennials, and they are a nightmare to like keep on top of. This area here was potatoes and now is going to just have wood chip put over it again. So this area behind me is our winter vegetables. So we've got an absolute ton of baby Brussels sprouts growing, my daughter's absolutely favourite vegetable. And I've got the sprouting broccoli even starting now. I've never grown sprouting broccoli at this time of year, but that's awesome. I'm going to come through and take a load of that and have that for home. So my cucumbers are done. It is too cold for them. Look, it is cold. So I'm going to come through and take some of these for seeds. I've been growing these under cover, so they will be alright for seed taking. I think it's important because every year they get a little bit better. So I've got a load of brassicas here again, the sprouting broccolis that obviously aren't sprouting yet. I don't know why that one is. And I've got a whole host of different things that are getting ready. So I've got more cabbages and things like that. They're underneath this mesh, mostly for the birds. As it's getting a bit colder, it's not really affected by the caterpillars anymore, but it is an issue in the summer. I've just noticed this and I'm gutted. Not as gutted as this is though, look. Who does that? So something has burrowed right into this squash, and it's not even ripe. And look, it's absolutely gutted it and ate all the seeds. What does that? I bet it's a rat. That was a sweet potato, what's it called? A spaghetti squash. But it's okay, I'm going to give it to my birds. I'm sure they'll enjoy it. I think they'd enjoy it more if it had seeds. God, this year, just get out the sun. This year we've had an awful problem with rodents when it comes to our squashes, and maybe it's because I'm growing the squashes in the same place this year as I did last year. I had no issues last year, so I definitely I'm going to swap my tomatoes and my squashes, I think, from allotment to allotment. I think that will help quite a bit, because that is not good, is it? You know, that's a right pain. And I've noticed quite a lot of like just little nibbles on some of my squashes. Obviously, as soon as they start, well, this is already, you know, done. But what can you do? I'm going to make sure that I grab that crown prince. It's meant to be very tough, but I don't want to leave it out here. And any of them, I can see another one that has been significantly nibbled. So I want to make sure that I'm not leaving anything around for them to get, and I'm going to make sure. What can you do? That is very annoying. You always get like a grace period for the first year of growing something, and then you get a little bit arrogant, don't you? So that is what happens when you get arrogant like me. Alright, thanks so much for watching, and if you know what done that, I reckon it's a rat. Let me know down below, and what do you do to stop that happening? And I'll see you next time. Bye bye. And if you haven't done already, remember to subscribe. Bye bye.